All right, so setting up Gobo, usually I try to keep it away from, I'll keep it against a wall, the pole itself. So we're gonna use like an 8-foot pole that goes up to 15 feet. So you'll need some kind of step ladder. Usually a hall will have one you can use. Obviously, if you can bring a small step ladder, just throw it in your car, in the front seat. That'd probably be the best thing to do. That way you're not depending on the hall. And worst case scenario, stand on a chair. I'm 6'2", and it's hard for me, even when I stand on a chair, to get up and actually pull the pole up. So bring some kind of small ladder, I would recommend. So we'll get going here. So this is the base plate. I'm sure, it looks like complete crap right now. You could clean it with some industrial cleaner. These are steel. This one probably weighs about 30 pounds. So if somebody hits the pole, it's not going anywhere. As you can see, you have a bunch of different holes. You have one here, 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 here. You can see I always use the middle one. It just kind of seems like the best one to use as far as if somebody hits it. Yeah, so here's how we do that. So you're gonna take this piece, it's got a little screw in the bottom. You're gonna unscrew it. Sometimes I will transport this base with this actually inside of it if I have room in my van. It's just gonna be easier if you take it off to stack this, and then you're not wasting all this space. You can stack something on top of it. But obviously when you're putting this in your car, always put it on the bottom. Okay, so we're gonna just take the screw out. As you can see, I unscrewed it. We're gonna lift this sucker out, and it's hard sometimes to get your fingers under there. And then we're gonna just screw it on. And you don't need a wrench or anything. Just using your hands, this should be tight enough. Okay, so I put the screw underneath, and I mean that's not going anywhere, and at the same time you can still get it off. So you don't need a screwdriver, you don't need any tools. So that's on. Now we're gonna show you the pole, what to do with that. All right, so here's the pole. It's about 8 feet tall right now. That's as short as it goes. So hopefully, this should be able to fit in your car. Ideally, we'd want a 6-foot to like 15-foot pole, but this is all I have for now. I will try to get some shorter ones for you guys, okay? So this little thing right here, zooming in on that black thing, has basically little pins right there. And what you do is you pull the pins up, and you can actually pull that top piece up higher. So once you get the Gobo projector in there, you just pull that up, okay? So this obviously just goes right on top. If you have a ladder, you can get up there and then put the projector on top. But one of the challenging things is if you don't have a ladder, getting it perfect. So getting it on there and getting it to actually shine where you want it on the floor. So I'm going to show you the way to do it without a ladder. This is basically going to be on your Gobo projector, and then it goes into the top here. Pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and get that going. Not the easiest thing in the world dealing with these. All right. So I got this in. Okay. Tighten these guys up, and try to figure out your angle here that you're going to be, that you're going to want to shoot. And obviously we got to go through putting the actual Gobo in. So this top piece right here unscrews right here. This is for different colors, so we're not going to do different colors as of now. So unscrew this guy. And you got your Gobo in there already. And the way I do this, and I think about it, is if I flip it around. So this is looking onto the wall, and if you look at it closely, you can see that the names are, it says Yi and Drew. This is back from last year. So The way that's going to go on the wall is that way. The light is going to shine that way, and it's just going to shine straight through. So that's how you know whether you're putting it in correctly, okay? And the way you put it in, let me fix the camera here. All right, so there's your gobo, and it's got this little, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's got a kind of a spring that goes inside. And to get it out, take it out and there's your spring, okay? So with this spring, the top, this is the top. It's got kind of a little hook there, and then the bottom is straight because obviously, you know, you don't want to impale this into the gobo. So what you do, you got your gobo here, okay? Here's your gobo. You put that in first, and when you're looking down at it, it's actually going to be backwards. So just remember that when you're looking down, putting it in, you're going to put it in backwards. You'll figure it out if you put it in the wrong way and you shine it on the wall and it's backwards. Then you put that piece on, which is like a little, you know, think of it just as a washer to protect the gobo itself. It's not going to cut off anything. And then you put this piece in, and it can be a little bit tricky. So you put it in, and I just kind of stuff it in there and then pull this piece back and under one of the springs, and then you're pretty much good to go. So it's a pretty simple process. It takes a little finesse. I mean, I would practice. This piece is actually falling off, so kind of sucks. Push that down in there, and then yeah, this one's not great. That's lovely, but it still works to keep it closed. And then yeah, and then we're from here gonna kind of angle it. You want the angle of this to be, zoom out a little bit. You want the angle to be as far, like let's say this is the pole. You want it to be as far down like that as possible, because you're going to have less of a keystone, and it's not going to, it may look good from where you're standing, but when you walk around it's going to look a little weird. So you want to keep this, I mean, basically if you could get it like that, great. This is probably, you know, actually we can go as far as like right there. So this is your pole, that's the floor's, you know, down over here. So let's go ahead and put this in to the base. And actually what I do before I even hook this up is I'll plug it in. And in the back you have your power area, you know, for an IC cable. And then right here it says remote in, and I don't know if you can see that, but it says remote in. Yeah, right here. If you hook the remote into there, it makes it real easy to spin the gobo around to where you want to put it. So I usually do that, and then I'll just take it out. Or do I leave it in? Yeah, I mean, you can leave it in. It doesn't matter, because it's a really long Cat 5 cable. Okay, so let's do that. I usually use like a short IC cable right here, and then a long white extension cord, two of them in this case. Plug this in before, and then plug this guy in, that way you can reach the, whatever. So usually do that, and then obviously we got to plug the remote in. Sweat my ass off right now. Okay, so here's the cable for the, this is going to go into your gobo projector and then into this remote. This remote here is pretty cool. So it has, let's get this in the picture, your on-off switch here, counterclockwise or clockwise spinning, and then how fast you want it to spin. So you can have this thing spinning the whole time. I think if you take this out, once you have it set and you take it off, I think it just stops spinning, I don't know, but you could find that out. So the thing is with these cables, a lot of the top pieces are broke off of them, so you gotta just be careful when you put them in. You might want to put some tape on it as well, you know, when you put it into here. This particular one's not broke, but just throw some tape on it. Throw some tape on like here to keep it in. I mean, you can even just tape the whole top of it. So that way you're not adjusting it, it's really high, and then all of a sudden this thing pulls out. So we're gonna put this in as well into the back. Back into focus. Videographer's got to deal with all that. So we're gonna throw this guy in the back. Now we got 2 chords coming out of the back. So my thing is aesthetics. I always want to keep things looking nice. Okay. So if you don't bring a ladder, you kind of have to put this on before. So we're going to do that. The other tough thing is making this focus. So not only you have to get it up here. I mean, you can't even see, but it's way up at the top there. So once again, I'm going to take this off, the Gobo projector on. And I don't even know where the focus point is. Let me show you. With this projector in the front here, this is the focus right here. So you can change that to wherever you want it to go. I don't know why there's a piece of tape here, but this is the focus. Yeah. Tighten these, because if you don't tighten this, and you put this on the pole, and tighten these 2 sides, it's not gonna work well. Okay, so now we take this and put it in here. Another thing you can do is actually, when you put this on, as if there isn't enough to do, tape it here, so that way it's not spinning. Okay, you can tape this black, the actual mount into the pole. Okay. And I didn't really tighten this up as much as I should have. So now, we got this on here. You can see it's a little awkward holding this pole, and actually I put this on really bad. So I would have to tighten up those screws, because it's definitely kind of wobbling up there, but I don't really look that sturdy. All right, I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. It's so stupid. We're going to have to use a wrench to tighten this too. Put this back on here. Okay, once again, tape that if you can. Probably the best thing to do, but I'm not going to. Then you gotta walk this up. Alright. Yeah, I don't even really like how stable that is, but I don't have to do for this tutorial. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be fun. So if you look up at it, see how high that is? And then here's how tall I am. So you can't get to this unless you have a ladder of some kind. Actually, you do have a step stool in here, so I'm going to take advantage of this step stool. It's going to be about another 2 feet. And even that might be not enough to actually adjust this to where I need it to go, but we're going to plug it in. And what I recommend doing is right now just taping these so that they look nice, the cords. Let me make sure this video is coming out okay. So you can take these cords kind of right here so nobody sees them. But on the back, you can tape all this right here because when you lift this, it's not going to affect it. Just don't tape under the actual black piece, which is, if you tape if you tape like right down here and try to pull up, the cords are gonna come out of it, obviously, or it's not gonna go up. But if you tape here right now and you pull up, you'll be fine. So let's pretend like we tape that, made it look real nice. And just a piece of tape that runs up and down. So we're gonna plug this in. It's not on, but we have our remote right here. Power on. It's not working. Oh, some weird strobe effect. Oh no, there it is. So LEDs take a little bit of time to turn on. But as you can see, when we move the camera, we do have it right here. There's our Gobo. We can see it's actually correct the way we have it. We can read it. So we have to obviously make it stop spinning and kind of put it where we want to put it. So let's do that. Actually, it's blinking a little bit. Well, something screwed up with the light. These are old Gobo lights, to be honest with you. Been in storage a while, but it shouldn't affect them unless they were thrown. That's why you got to take care of things, have bags for stuff. So we're gonna make this, let's try to see myself here. This is the best tutorial ever. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get in focus here. So you can see we're gonna stop the spinning, and that made it stop, great. And actually, the focus, you can see it's not 100% in focus right now. If there's some soft edges, then you need to definitely firm those up. So you can see right there, it's not in focus 100%. So you can focus it from where you're at, and then it should stay pretty good when you pull it up. So you can get it down on the ladder, pull down the Gobo, and if you have a step stool or a chair, you can just adjust the Gobo. Sure it's nice and crisp. So what you do with these, I don't know, hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. Man, I'm like sweating, it's dripping. Right here you have these two pins, and you kind of pull up here with my right hand, pull up a little bit, that unlocks their little ball bearings. And it makes it kind of fall down here. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure it looks good. So I'm actually gonna unplug this and see what happens. Oh. Okay, so I unplugged it and nothing happens, so it's fine if you unplug it once you're done. It's up to you. But let's firm up these lines. That looks a lot better. So you can see, went out a few times. So you can see, now if we look at it, those look a lot sharper, those lines. And when we pull it up, like 7 feet, it's not really going to affect the focus too much. It should be fine. And if it does and you want to get really anal about it, which I understand, I definitely want to put a nice product out, you can adjust, compensate for that a little bit. So I'm going to pull this guy back up, see what the outcome is. I'm actually going to move it like right where the camera is, so it's kind of pointing right at you guys. Yeah, so we're pulling this up, and I'm actually going to go pretty high with it. You should go as high as possible without pulling. If you go too high, it's going to pull out here. So that looks good. It gives us a good, I don't like where it's placed though, and kind of tilted. I don't know. Oh, it's tilted because we got to adjust it with the controller. So I'm going to show you guys. So on the floor, there it is. And let's say we wanted to get that, straight or whatever. I mean, that might even be fine, just depending on where we're setting it up. But, with how the camera's looking at it, in order to get it good, turn on the clockwise spinning, turn that down. I mean, you can have it do this the whole night too if you, oh, there it goes. All right, so there we go. Boom, that looks good. Off on. But I think that looks great. So there's your name and lights. And then you would just clean up the cords, tape them to the pole, and then tape any cords onto the ground from the actual light itself. Hope you enjoyed this half-hour-long tutorial, and I'm going to cut it down so it's not as brutal. But that's that, guys. Okay?